Hello, and thank you for tuning in to our latest Partner Spotlight series. My name is Vikki Danielson, and I'm the Head of Partner Development with Acceleration Partners. Today, we're going to help you understand how you can give customers the confidence to purchase using a tool called Intelligent Interfaces, which is a conversational AI platform that increases conversion rates by delivering customers to the right product, so no more choice paralysis. This tool behaves like your best salespeople. To start things off, Jon, please introduce yourself and tell us why Intelligent Interfaces was started and when.
Yeah, sure. Hi there, Vix. My name's Jon Morgan. I'm the Business Development Director at Intelligent Interfaces. We were founded in 2018. And really, we've been put together as a business to solve the problem that we know that when people go online and there's lots of choice, some of those people actually get completely overwhelmed and don't make a purchase. So what we do, we've built some software, and our whole aim as a business is to guide those customers very naturally, the same way that an in-store salesperson would do very naturally. So by sticking to the key sales psychology principles of approaching a customer at the right time, having a conversation where every answer dictates the next question, and then actually making recommendations where we personalize the attributes and features really to resonate with the customer based on the answers that they've told us in that initial sort of conversation.
In what way does Intelligent Interface utilize affiliate marketing?
So we work with loads of different affiliate agencies, and I guess the main thing really there is that the sort of the introduction of our tech, because of the commercial model that we have is very similar to a normal affiliate model. You know, it's completely success related. The affiliate agencies really see it as an opportunity to take us to their clients, and it's completely tangible. So, you know, as soon as we go live, they can log in and see the analytics dashboard, and really, you know, it's very black and white. And we know that these engines always generate value, but actually we found that going down the affiliate route is a really good way for us to get in with those clients where there's already those relationships in place.
Perfect. So Jon, I know that we've had this conversation come up with some brands in the past who are worried about attribution. Can you explain how crediting works on your side if another partner or affiliate in the program is already pushing the traffic to a brand's site?
Yeah, sure. So the system that we've built, we're basically sort of the last click, I guess. So we can tell if there's already an affiliate a payment being made out to somebody else where they've already driven that traffic. We can still let them use the experience, but we pick that up. So we don't bill on those people. We only bill on those pure people that have come to the site kind of organically and on their own, but actually they've got to that point, got confused and need that assistance. So in regards to the affiliates, you know, we're so confident that there's enough people there. You know, I guess we're not trying to be greedy. You know, we know that actually if somebody's already driven them to the site, we don't want to stop those people from using our tech. But equally, you know, we realize that brands can't be sort of double billing or triple billing, you know, for different models in place.
Yeah, perfect. That's amazing. So tell us about some of your clients and how they're personalizing the conversation to a level online.
Yeah, sure. So really all of the clients' engines that we build are completely personalized. So when we have a sort of a kickoff workshop with a client, we always just require that 1 hour. It's really where I hand over to our product team and the copywriting team, but they've already looked at the site, so they already understand the product range. And then everything we create for that engine is you know, it's not only the tone of voice and branded to look like a client, but it's completely in relation to their product range. So, you know, we've built engines now for everything you can think of, sort of drones, cameras, TVs, fashion, cosmetics, everything you can think of. You know, it's all very much done on a client by client basis. So all of that copy is, you know, approved by the client, but actually it's just in direct relation to their products and the features of their product range. So yeah, everything we do, I guess, is personalized. You know, the principles and how it works and the software at its core is the same, but actually each client is done on an individual basis.
Perfect. And I know when we first started talking, I thought that this would be perfect for brands that have, you know, a higher average order value and that are a bit more detailed in capabilities and features and that require that more research to be done. That's when the choice paralysis kicks in. But really, you've applied engines now to beauty, fashion. It can really work across any vertical product.
Yeah, totally. So I think with the, you know, the history of this business and how it came about, we used to do these specifically just for another business, but just doing telco. So it was, you know, recommending phones and tariff packages, which obviously is a very complicated one. But we could see while we were doing that, and that was, you know, that was about 10 years ago now, and all they do is like 5 clients in that vertical. We could see, you know, I was the sales director there, and I had loads of people speaking to me going, well, could we do it for this? Could we do it for this? And always the answer was no, unless it was worth 6 figures, you know, and a huge, you know, 12-month customized piece of work, it was a no. So we set this business up because actually we could see that there was all of these different types of businesses. And now, you know, we work with really small businesses. You know, there's a couple of one-man bands that we work with that pay us like $100 a month. But actually, the way that we've built the system now, we've completely made it modular. There's not this huge customized piece of work to build each of these engines. The way that we've done it now is that we've completely streamlined it. So we always, from an initial workshop to actually going live, is always within a 4-week period. And that's really because we've just, and to be honest with you, that 4 weeks is just giving us leeway, because sometimes clients don't put the JavaScript in, or don't give us things. We've rolled engines out now in like a week. I think we did one last week when it was in like 2 days, just because the client said, here's everything you need, let's get this live as soon as we can. In this case it was before Christmas because of when we're talking, but we can turn these around really quickly, and that's the difference for us.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I know that most of what our conversations are geared towards is online. I mean, we're in digital marketing, but tell us how some of your clients are actually doing the same, but in store via self-serve stations or even phones and tablets.
Yeah, sure. So we've done this in a few different varieties now. The one that we traditionally, when we first started, we worked with from our experience, it was a large telecom handset manufacturer. And they basically wanted to put a huge promotion out. It went across a few different countries, but they actually wanted promoters in store. So before putting it on the online, they actually said, we have this whole promotion workforce. This was before Corona, when people were in stores in retail. But they had all of these promoters where they said, there was a huge difference in the skill set. So some of them would know everything about the phones, and they'd really be competent salespeople, whereas actually there tended to be a large proportion of them that didn't, and they might know everything about one phone, but actually then that's their go-to that they would be recommending to all the customers. So what we did was we basically gave them tablets with our software on there, where they could have the conversation with the customer, but at the same time, it's slightly different because you can't tell them what to say or they sound like a robot. So it's a very fluid interface, but again, the principles are exactly the same. They're just going through saying, what's your budget, what you're going to use your phone for, what you're going to do this for. And with that, they really tied that into, I guess, sort of an omni-channel experience. So they could go through, get to the end. If they wanted to purchase, great. It was like, go to the till, they click the promoter lets the engine know that this is the product that they bought. So it gets that bit more intelligent. But actually there was an option to email themselves as well. So in that case, that's when it got quite interesting, because if they email, if they say, email me this, they then get an email, but then the client has a really detailed profile in order to follow that email up. And it can be almost sort of a hyper personalized email, because this is the model they've been recommended. This is how long they're going to spend on social media, what's important to them, is it battery life, whatever the attributes are. It's just that detailed profile, and we're actually doing that with more and more clients now. So even with the online versions, they're saying, well, can they have an option to email it purely to follow up afterwards? Because it's another, like I said, as soon as you can give something an individual a really personalized offer based on that very detailed profile, it just becomes that bit more appealing. The other stuff that we're doing in store now with it's a large manufacturer of printers and desktops and things, and they've actually looked at the QR route. So if I would have come to you before to Corona and said QR codes, everyone was a bit like, that's old technology and not that good. But actually now, and again, this is through this conversations with this client, the sort of mentality around QR codes has slightly changed. People understand now the purpose of a QR code. Before Corona, if you'd have said to my mum, scan a QR code, absolutely no chance. Whereas now she's so used to it. You go into a bar or a restaurant, you just scan the menu off the table. It's just become a way of life that she understands it. So they're actually putting in store, big point of sale displays with these QR codes. If you need help picking a printer, scan this. So people are in store, they can actually get it out. It launches as a client branded version, but actually with that, they're actually putting it into different department stores. So they can use the branded, make a printer, use the branded app, go through the engine, get to the end, and actually, if they decide they want to buy, that still takes them back to the retailer's website. So it's there's lots of different things that and again, those conversations, they're just coming up more and more. Our normal model is that we do tend to, I'd say probably 99% of our clients, we launch online and prove our value there. And it's much easier as soon as you're online and they can actually see the value of the profile, all of the analytics, the whole thing, sort of service that we deliver. As soon as you get that in, then they go, right, can we do this in store? Can we do this? At the moment I'm talking about call centers and all types of sort of applications for it, because as soon as you get in there and get embedded, they realize actually, and I guess our aim to an extent is, yes, to launch lots and lots of online engines, but actually if you can enable this real sort of fluid journey across each touch point for a customer. So a good example being, with the online engines now, if somebody uses our online engine, goes through a conversation, doesn't matter what the product is, if they get to the end and decide they're not ready to buy, so they close the engine, if they then launch, for example, a live chat session through live chat or something, we can hand that profile through. So rather than that chat agent starting the conversation with, hi, how can I help today? It can be, oh, hi, I see you're looking at this product. And they've already got that detailed thing just to enable them to close a lot quicker. It's much more expensive to have a live chat than it is to have us, basically. So it's a much easier way to sort of carry on that conversation.
Definitely. So let's talk about the levels of success your clients are seeing, because the beauty of working in affiliate is that you do work on a performance model. But I think the success that brands are seeing, they quickly come back to you and want to actually change that to a flat fee or a license model, just because it's going to work out financially better for them, because you are seeing such successes. Can you walk us through what you're seeing across the board?
Yeah, sure. So it does differ massively by vertical, but as a sort of a bare minimum with the verticals, I guess I was going to say that aren't performing well, but they're still doing like 5 times base site conversion. So, they're still super happy. As soon as we go live, every client we work with has access to a real-time dashboard. So it's completely tangible. You can see this is how many people are using it. We tend to do within the initial sort of 3-month proof of concept stage, we tend to do 1 month as a straight 50-50 split test. Just so that's the most, it's like a statistically significant way of proving what's actually happening, how many more sales is the engine generating and things. And yeah, so for example, as I just said, 5 times base site is our sort of bare minimum that we look at. We've got one site at the moment that's doing like 17 times base site conversion, and they're over the moon. They're literally right. What other part of the business? They're trying to find every other part of the business that they can put our technology in.
Yeah, that's perfect. So just how easy is it for a brand to work with you? What do they need to get started? And we've already covered launch timing, but what do they need to provide you?
Yeah, so we've really, as a business, focused on making it as simple as possible. As soon as you ask a client for any dev or design resource, it's a massive hurdle. They've already got full roadmaps. So literally all we need now is a snippet of JavaScript to be implemented, usually through a tag manager, and then a 1-hour workshop. That workshop is really just where, like I said, the team have already looked. They'll already have a good idea of the conversation we're going to have. But we find it's invaluable really for us to actually hear from the client about their own products. Not only tone of voice, obviously we match brand guidelines and tone of voice, but it's more to hear, what are those key products? What are those key attributes and features? And really, I guess it's, I don't want to say role play because that's a bit of a cliche or whatever, but it is a role play. It's to say, right, if I walked into your store and I had known nothing about it and I was completely confused, I was overwhelmed with the amount of products you have, what are those questions you would ask me in order to recommend the right product? And that's really, I guess all we require is that snippet of JavaScript and that 1-hour workshop. Everything else is done by us. So we use a program called Notion. So after that workshop, the client can actually log in, and it's effectively a large checklist, but you can just track our progress. So you can see within the month, right, this is where we're up to, the JavaScript's gone in, the product feed's being pulled in. Most people have a reliable product feed. Anyone that works on Shopify, we don't even need to ask for a product feed because we just run a JSON file. So it's all the products in real time. But it's really that simpler process. All of it's done by us. So all of the design, all of the dev, everything's done. It's obviously signed off by the client before we go live, and we give them a prototype that sort of they can log in, and it's with the client side proxied in, so they can see the whole experience before it goes live. But yeah, we've really made it that all of it's done by us. And I guess in regards to the sort of model that we have, it's completely success related, whereby if you launch these and just leave them, they stagnate really quickly. So our whole model is that we launch them, but actually through the data, we constantly optimize them. So as soon as it goes live, you can see, it's black and white, right? This question, 40% of people are closing the engine. Okay, let's rewrite that question, split test it and improve it. And you can constantly optimize. And that's really how we make our money, because as soon as you launch these engines, you realize, right, these are how to make it better. And the better we make it, the more sales go through it, the more money we earn.
Really easy is what I want to reiterate there. It's a 1-hour workshop and placing a pixel, and you guys take the load and do most of the work on behalf of the brand. So super easy.
Yeah, totally. Super easy. And implementing that JavaScript is I'm not a coder by any means, but it's like a 5-minute job.
Lastly, any words of wisdom for brands looking for omni-channel personalization support?
My advice is always for us to start online. There is much larger pieces of work that we do, and we work with some huge enterprise clients, but actually we always prefer to prove our value, and the easiest way to do that, like I just said, is get it online, run a 3-month proof of concept, which is just completely success related with no configuration fee. I should sort of stress that as well. We're so confident that we don't ask for 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. We don't need a configuration fee. All we need is that commitment for it to be live for 3 months, and in that time, we're confident that we'll earn the minimum that we need to earn, but actually that will prove the value. And then there's a lot of these deals where when I'm speaking with people, it's like, right, we'll try it on this, And as soon as you try and prove your value, they're like, oh, actually, I had a call this morning and the guy was like, actually, I've got 7 other sites in 7 languages. And it's like, fantastic. That's brilliant. That's us, same engine, you're just translating, all done by the client. It's a very easy thing for us once we've built that core engine. We don't, I guess our success related model and just the amount of success we have in landing clients would be very different if I was going out saying, even $10,000, right? It's a $10,000 configuration fee. It might work, it's a much harder sell, where rather than saying there's no configuration fee, let us prove it. We'll build this for you free of charge. Let's get it on the website on a success related model and actually prove what we can do for you. And that's all of the, sorry, it's slightly off piece from the omni-channel, but that tends to be, once we get in there and prove online, that's when we can have conversations about call center, live chat, QR codes, anything. We love having chats with companies where they come up with really good uses for it. Because we have our sort of core offering and we have all these other things that we do it for, but actually we love it when clients say, right, you've proved your value online, we love it. Usually it's like one of the senior management really buy into it. How else can we look at this? How else can we use this data? And there's lots of things, because there is so much data that comes off it, you get really detailed profiles of customers and what those customers are going to buy. So it's, you can do really interesting things with it.
Amazing. So intelligent interfaces, partner to watch for 2022. Jon, thanks so much for joining us today. And until next time,
no worries.
Bye for now.
Take care. Bye.